Yeah, so really good run out for us. Look, it'd been a couple of weeks since we had a game, hadn't played since the Tring game, and I was quite conscious that we didn't want to go into this Saturday, obviously knowing that this Saturday would be on, without having had a game. I think it's pretty clear that the Potton game was going to be called off with the weather conditions. So really thankful for Cranfield first and foremost in terms of being able to fulfil that fixture for us. Look, it was a friendly game, so I wasn't overly concerned necessarily about the result, and we had a little bit of rust maybe in terms of a couple of the goals that we conceded. From a positive perspective, we created a lot of chances in that game. Disappointed that we didn't take more than what we did. There was plenty of opportunities there for us to get some goals, but first and foremost, we created the chances, and that hasn't always been the case of late to the extent that we would want to. So real positives in that sense. Again, a reminder for us though in the areas that we still need to improve. But there's lads there that haven't played. Some of them haven't played for over a month. Some have been away for quite a while. Come back from injury at different points in time. So yeah, really valuable exercise for us, and sets us up well going into this week. So maybe just the only real downside that really came out of our game on Saturday against Cranfield was it looks like we probably lost Will for quite a while, which is a real shame. He missed the start of the season, but really since he came in at the back end of August and onwards, he's had a real impact on the team. Looks like it's a pretty bad hamstring injury. He's been struggling with it really since Saturday. He'll be in tonight, so we'll probably be able to get a better assessment on that and really have an understanding in terms of what his return might look like. But it is likely that we're going to be out missing him for a little while. So that's a disappointment, but I guess it's kind of a little bit of the risk that you have to take in those scenarios, and it can kind of happen at any stage. So yeah, disappointing in that sense. Look, Will's, like I said, he's been great on the pitch, but he has a real impact in the dressing room as well. So as much as it's disappointing him not being available on the pitch, I'm confident that we'll still see his impact in and around the group. He'll do his rehab work with us, as all the players do. So he'll still be really well connected, and we make sure that that's the case with all injured players. We'll look forward to hopefully getting back at some stage this season. We just obviously need to get the full detail in terms of that. Outside of that, nothing really too major. Going into Saturday's game, there's a little bit of availability on a couple with work that we're going to need to be mindful of and see how that looks. But no suspensions. We've got some players. Obviously, we spoke about recently coming back from injury and back into training. Spencer O'Leary now is back in training as well. Again, really light work for him. He's had some issues with his knee in the past and also this season, so we're really mindful that we kind of build him back up correctly. He was able to do a little bit of work on Tuesday night as we trained, and he'll step that up again today. So that side of things is positive. We've only really got kind of, like I say, Will and maybe one other long-term injury with Archie McClelland. And then outside of that, the squad's competitive and ready to go. So we'll be positive going into Harpenden on Saturday. Yeah, so Harpenden, look, it's obviously a place that I know well. They've managed to have some games over the last couple of weeks where other teams haven't. And I think certainly if you look at the MK Irish game, they showed what they could do in that game. They've got really good attacking options. They score lots of goals, so it's something that we'll have to be mindful of. Now, I've spoke previously how I think that recently we've been certainly a pretty good defensive team. We've been tough to score against in the games that we've played. So we're going to need all of that again, certainly on Saturday. We'll go out there and try and positive and go and get the result. I think that our performance levels, over the course of the first half of the season have, improved as we've gone along. We've had different spells where maybe, whether it's the attacking side, defensive side, haven't quite been always aligned in terms of what we need, but they're always working really hard. Our preparation has been good. They're a team that's at the moment kind of in and around us, so we want to try and go and get a result with that. And also, it's our first game of the year. Internally, we've got some objectives in terms of what we want to be able to achieve this back half of the season, and there's going to be no better way to do that than starting on Saturday. It's pretty local fixture, so hopefully we'll get plenty of Dunstable support there as well for the game. I've said it many times really this season, and we get fantastic support in all of our home games, but what really blows me away really is the travelling support that we get, and that backing. And I know it's something that I appreciate, the management team appreciate, and the players appreciate as well. So we picked up some really good results on the road this season, and look, we'll be looking to the game again on Saturday.